In other news tonight, Henderson's police chief is stepping away from the department. In a letter to employees on Thursday, he announced his retirement set for the end of February. But it comes just 2 months after the Henderson police unions voted no confidence in Chief Cedric Andrus. Fox 5's Drew Andre reports on what's next for the department.
3.5 years into his role as top cop in Henderson, Cedric Andrus is retiring from the department.
Do you think this was the city's decision or his decision?
I think either way, it's a good decision.
In an internal memo to staff, Andrus said, "My decision to retire now is primarily due to my desire to move closer to my family," and went on to say, "As I close this chapter, I am proud of this department and our accomplishments." He joined HPD in 2017, alongside former Chief Letitia Watson, who was fired in 2019. The city then promoted Andrus to chief, but like his predecessor, his short reign came with clashes with the police unions. In November, the unions overwhelmingly voted no confidence in Andrus. They say the main reasons for the vote were the chief's lack of collaboration with the union on topics like a new use of force policy and alleged an unwillingness to follow the collective bargaining agreement. But when we sat down with Andrus in November, he told me he believes the real reason for the vote of no confidence stemmed from internal investigations into police misconduct, including union members.
We've been one of America's safest cities since I've been here as the police chief. In fact, we've become even safer.
The police unions presented their vote of no confidence to City Council in mid-November.
Unfortunately, the city listened, that's what we asked them to do, was to just hear us out and figure out what direction we needed to take.
Second in command is Deputy Chief Michael Blow. The unions prefer an internal hire as Andrus's successor.
There's an incredible wealth of talent within our police department. The people who work here now know this city. They know the members of the department. They know what we need to do moving forward.
Drew Andre, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
The city manager will hire the next chief, and in a statement to Fox 5, the city of Henderson says it congratulates Chief Andrus on the retirement following a distinguished 30-year career in law enforcement. Among Chief Andrus's accomplishments are establishing the Henderson Police Cadet Academy, constructing a new West substation, and breaking ground on a new forensic crime laboratory.